stay super far ahead. And ultimately, I still think the issue was mostly the Pantheon that ended up coming through. So I'm expecting ANEW Rising to ban that away this time around, as we have switched sides once again. So Not Academy team is once again on the blue side of the map, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a fairly similar draft to Game 1 overall.
Yeah, but instead of Not Academy, it looks like ANEW Rising is going to be banning away, making sure that that's not going to be a first pick for themselves here. Akali is still on the table. The Not Academy did first pick in Game 1, as we do see the Talia ban come through. Instead, we see another Seraphine ban, man. Firefire has been hyping up this champion in the pre-show, and I can see why. These teams do not want to play against a Seraphine plus some other Wombo combo champion, and much like Game 1, we got the Akali first pick.
All right. I mean, I wasn't super thrilled by the Akali, but it was okay. So far, looking very similar to the first game overall. I mean, this Jhin still very good. The Galio also good into the Akali. It can, again, flex into either the support role or in the mid lane. And, again, I feel like we're getting a very similar draft so far.
This is going to be Kai'Sa. I'm calling it. Making my bets. Okay, you know what? My bets. Dang it. Misfortune is the one locked in. I got dealt the Misfortune hand, but we do see the Kindred getting locked in, so both these compositions are looking pretty damn similar to Game 1, man. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, this is also an opportunity where you start looking at things that are really good into the Kindred. I know Pyke isn't popular right now, but Pyke is my favorite answer to the Kindred, because you get everybody low and then you go and you just bounce all over everyone immediately afterwards.
Whack-a-mole.
Just
whack-a-mole.
Right? Everyone is so low.
Yeah.
But right now, I don't think it's likely to come out, but it would be another way to threat overload this team. And the double pseudo... Okay, so you have like the one pseudo tank in Galio, right? But you also have this like hyper tank coming out in what is almost definitely going to be Chim's Scion. This is a scary time to play the Scion, because you are not very mobile, and you have two marksmen in Anivia who are going to be beating you down. And once again, Not Academy playing a threat overload squad against ANEW, but this time they aren't really focused on the initial burst. They can actually play this team fight out in a longer fashion, so the Kindred has lost a lot of value.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, this champion that I'm pointing right over here does really good into Galio, into Scion, outranges Kindred, probably tackles Jhin pretty damn well too. We're gonna see the pivot into the Echo, and that means that probably it looks like Rob is gonna be the one piloting the Echo in the mid lane, and we're gonna see the Galio support into the Maokai. So another flex change coming in from the Rising squad. So hopefully this works out.
Yeah, I mean, they really had to switch something up, and now we're looking at an opportunity for Robbie Bob to be very aggressive in the mid lane, simply because as you start getting towards like levels 5 through 9, you can start doing a lot of damage and like to roam around with the Kindred, and you can dive on the Graves pretty effectively, because he can't... I mean, he's not going to be building defensive itemization pretty much no matter what, but now you have a mixed damage profile that you can actually go for all of these targets with.
Yeah, it's just so hard to dive against Anivia. That's why I'm a little bit worried, because these tanks, they don't have a dash, don't have anything to just kind of slide on the table. We're taking a look at the screen right now. This is where we're going to see all the rolls coming in. We do see John rocking the Galio on the bottom side, so see how he pilots here. I think this game is going to go back onto the hands of Hayami and Robbie Bob, man. When give both these two carries, and they could definitely do some damage. I think that ANEW Rising molding into this kind of style, it might just work out for them.
Yeah, I mean, if they really, really dedicate themselves to that and John starts to play around the middle, be pretty darn good. But I also think it's going to be difficult, right? Like, threat overload compositions are fairly standard. They're honestly what you tend to play in solo queue most of the time. So everybody's kind of familiar with how these compositions are going to be working. And if you're going to be relying on individual skill, a threat overload composition is the way to do it. It's like you just have a bunch of people say, yeah, just do good things, be a good player, and you'll be able to actually take down a lot of these relatively immobile characters on ANEW.
I will say, though, I think if Robobob is able to be like a big split push threat on his side, maybe he can be a good amount of damage, potentially drawing multiple members from Not Academy team towards him. So just to leave off of a 5-on-5 that will probably might go towards Academy's favor, just because Anivia is just such a hassle to deal with, especially against two tanks and two low range AD carries. So have to keep eyes on what Robobob wants to do. But Let's keep eyes on him, man. I think Rybop has been the mid laner that's gotten the better edge against Tuesday. I think he'd definitely do it again.
Yeah. I do worry if he is on the sidelines, though, right? Like, even if he is ahead, he needs to push quickly, and there are enough people that can hold him, even if they aren't going to be able to kill him. And without the Echo, they don't have a lot of safe wave clear on the side of ANEW.
That's true,
Jin has traps, and his Deadly Flourish will do damage to everything. Like, Jonathan Forlong, like, he's a support, so he doesn't do a whole lot of damage with that. And Sion, you gotta sit there and charge up your axe, which means that you are in a perfect position to take a ton of poke from the Anivia and the Misfortune, as they just kind of pepper you with shots over and over again. So it is a risky way to play the game, but it is not a way that is instantly going to lose. So there's a lot of execution available to them, finding some early leads so that they don't need to worry about playing on the back foot and can aggressively siege instead of defensively siege will help Robbie out quite a bit.
There's also one thing I do want to point out is that, Apollo swapped from playing Kai'Sa game 1 and game 2 to this Misfortune, going to game 3. Instead of looking to dive in, he's going to be the one that's going to be utilizing that bullet time as well in the team fight. So definitely some change on the Academy squad. You mentioned like threat overload was game 1 and game 2. This composition is definitely not threat overload. This is like we're going to chill and let Dokla do his thing on the back line.
For sure. Also, just in case anybody was wondering, the Gale Force interaction does not work with Misfortune anymore. As funny as that was.
Yeah. That's cool, man. You Gale Force and like the bullet time goes wider if you Gale Force away, and if you Gale Force forward, it becomes narrower. I actually don't know the specific damage. Does it do more damage, Josh, or what was the interaction? It's just narrower or wide. That's all you want with the Gale Force, I guess.
Yeah, it's cool. It looked cool. I saw some pretty funny clips based off of it, but we'll see. We'll see what they end up doing. I still think the Gale Force is likely going to be pretty good on Misfortune, simply because having that mobility suddenly in your kit where it never was before allows you to get away from. There is mobility that is aggressive that can come out from Echo and Kindred, just not nearly as effective defensively. So they can definitely get on top of Misfortune. But again, you have 3 other threats. Oh, well, sorry, Apollo. We got a couple other people. You're replaceable.
Yo, all right, you find some shots, goddamn. All right, you heard it here first.
In the game.
Okay,
we have a backup AD carry. That's what we're looking for.
All right, man. Okay, all right. Just making sure, man. Making sure we ain't firing too many shots on this broadcast, Josh. I know you like to fire a lot of shots right now. You're calling yourself a gunslinger, but let's take a look at. I want to talk about Not Academy real quick. Game 1, they camped Shim. They pinned him down pretty well in the early game, but then later on they weren't looking too hot against ANEW Rising. Game 2, ANEW Rising had majority of the agency going on. Are we going to see Not Academy push their lead if they get it to its full extent?
I hope so. I mean, again, this is the team that a lot of people are looking at as on paper should be the best team in amateur. And ANEW Rising, I mean, looked good, but not this good. They were supposed to be contending for the top spot, and if Not Academy can clean up some of their map play, I think they are going to be incredibly fearsome. But right now, it looks like they're mostly playing off of their individual skill, which can do really well if you have leads in your lanes, but they haven't been able to accomplish that particularly effectively in the series.
As we already load into the game, gonna see what happens. No level, maybe we see some level shenanigans. Game 2 we did. Late invade from ANEW Rising onto the blue side. Looks like you call it a fan. I call this the line of scrimmage. I like traditional sports terms coming in.
30 seconds until
Same. I also like traditional sports terms, even though I don't watch a whole lot of them.
Oh, what's your favorite sports that you do like to watch?
Favorite sport that I do like to watch?
Mm-hmm.
If I had to go to a sports event, it would probably be hockey.
Oh, interesting.
Hey, we had this were you part of this conversation the other day?
I don't think I was. I don't remember. I don't think I was.
Yeah. Somebody was watching hockey, and we were all talking. It was like, oh, what games or like what sports do you really like watching? And hockey is just like there's so much constant action. It would be hockey or basketball, right? Because there's just always things happening going on in the game. Just kind of, there's no plays that you gotta wait for. And like American football, it's not golf where, sorry, Cubby, you just sit there and you watch one person and everybody can go, shh.
Oh man, what a hit! It's a birdie. Well, honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't do that. It's like, oh, well, nice hit. Goes off the fairway. Hooks left. Oh, perfect on the green.
on the green, in the sand. That's golf commentary. Not hype at all. I'm sorry, Cubby. I don't know how you enjoy watching that. I'm a
You don't have to enjoy
basketball guy.
watching it to enjoy playing it, right? But
Yeah. Playing it is very different. Watching it makes me fall asleep. That's what I don't like. We'll wait for the day where Cubby starts implementing golf terminology in the League of Legends broadcasting. That's gonna be something really cool. When is he gonna use birdie, bogey, double bogey, triple bogey? When are those contacts coming through? That's what I'm curious about.
We're going to figure out what those mean in a League of Legends context.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
Cubby, you got to be the innovator. What is a birdie?
is a birdie. Oh, we have one in the mid lane. Turns out
That's a birdie.
Tuesday is playing a birdie.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Corkies are a bogey.
Aha.
I
Right.
don't know if you saw the newest animation that they put out for the beginning of the season. Where
That's true,
don't
yeah, I
mess
did.
with Yordles.
Yep. Okay. But then how do you go to triple bogey?
You just have 3 Corkies.
One for all for one, I guess. We're playing 4 Corkies in the game. Quadra bogey.
Yeah. All right. So going back to our game a little bit, I'm curious, since we've seen this vertical jungle between both sides of the map, where the first mark is actually going to be spawning. As Robbie Bob is committing a teleport super early here in the mid lane. That's really actually kind of surprising to see it come out this early, but it is going to give them enough time. And beautiful, beautiful. Everybody give a golf clap. Kiami got the perfect RNG to get the mark up on the top side where he has enough priority, and no vision on the top side coming out for Not Academy is going to reward Kiami with his first mark of the game.
Would say it's in the green, Josh, but the crab's
It's
in
in
the
the
water,
green.
so kind of hard to say. I'll think of it for you, Cubby. We'll do the best we can to see if we can make golf terminology in this game. As of right now, both these junglers are committed for this vertical jungling currently, and they're just taking their own camps, man. Kind of like this little style they're doing.
I think they both left a wolf up for the other person. Like one wolf. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Yami might not have taken it, but Winston got 27 CS, so I think he left one wolf up, whereas Yami is a little bit more personally green. He's like, I want this, extra bit of gold, and it just means that Winston will have his wolves up here relatively soon when he does finally go onto his own side of the map.
Yeah, he's just a nice guy, man. He's like, you know what, Winston, you might need a little bit of a handicap. I'll leave you some dogs for you. I'm always a dog guy. Yeah, I'm a dog guy. I know a lot of players are cat people. I don't know, dogs are just cool.
I agree.
Hey,
I'm
we
going to
got
get a new
with
dog,
us.
or I'm not going to get a dog, but my roommates are getting a second dog here pretty quick, so that's pretty exciting. But notably, we see Hyami with nothing in his side of the jungle to farm at all. Actually going to be coming down to the bottom side of the map, and might be able to catch out Zazel while he ends up hitting this ward.
Yeah, he did jump over the wall, force the flash on Apollo. Apollo is unable to get away. Yo, that's going to be first blood in for John here, and that's going to be good stuff for him. Fortunately, doesn't go over to him. I think it definitely would have been good for them, but regardless, ANEW Rising still being the first one on the mark to tackle Not Academy team.
That felt predictable as like this omniscient caster, but it makes you wonder, right? Because there were a couple of wards, like you see that ward over next to the blue buff coming out for the Not Academy team, but they never actually walked over that. Hyami walked directly through lane to just hop over the wall, and so that's actually really smart from Hyami, knowing that his jungle is probably warded. He's going to be taking a route where his opponents are never going to be spotting him out, so I gotta praise him for actually coming through and finding this advantage for his team. But now, seeing that he is not on the bottom side of the map because he would have been spotted out on one of those wards, he can go to the top side. But Winston, reading it very well, is going to be picking up the Ocean Dragon for themselves, and that's so impactful early on in the game because it's going to give everyone an opportunity to take these otherwise even trades and turn them into slightly winning ones.
Super smart from him. We haven't seen an early Drake get taken in game 1 or game 2, and that was, I think, the fastest Drake, the earliest Drake we've seen in this series, coming in at 6 minutes here. So good job on Winston taking that dragon. Ocean for them too. It's gonna help out Tuesday and Apollo Price, knowing that they did lose that flash and that heal. Gonna see what Hyami wants to tackle in the rest of this game, but Yeah, it's curious that Not Academy is the team that's blowing things so far in all these 3 games outside of the bullying game. One were the teams that just they're chilling out, not a lot of action, not looking to do anything.
And Winston has Ignite again, right? He has to do something with his Ignite so that it's not particularly relevant when he doesn't have a flash later on. And so far, he's been relatively quiet. He is quietly out-farming his opponent. But hey, look, we've seen this before.
Yeah, Zayla's going to get stunned up and taunted up and going to be jumped on by the rest of the squad. Short Hop's going to see if he can land some auto attacks coming in. Hayami's around the corner. Yo, the sapling's slowing them all down, but Robob's going to take that kill for himself with that phase dive and that time winder. So another kill for the ANEW Rising squad. Definitely putting in some pressure for the Not Academy's team.
Yeah, again, we've seen this before. It's the exact same play as we saw previously. Yami took the same path out of base in order to get down here, and they end up catching Zeyzal a second time. And this time, the kill going over to a little bit more of a relevant damage threat. So Robbie Bob, despite the fact that he is slightly behind in CS, should be in a pretty happy spot overall, simply because he does have that kill. Gets a couple stacks on his Dark Seal, and the rest of the map continuing to be relatively quiet. Dokla just quietly out-farming Chim a little bit, but without a whole lot of support from Winston, they aren't really doing a whole lot, and Winston likely going to be running into Yami here as he takes a good chunk of damage.
Robob is a little bit low on mana, so won't be able to help out as much, knowing that Dokla was here first on the rotation compared to Chim. Yami shouldn't look to stick around, knowing that Robob is a little bit low on mana. Utilize Lamb's Respite. Backups coming in. Robob should be calling for the disengage as he has no mana, so that is an ultimate trade for the other. But also means that is a window of opportunity for them to take this first Rift Herald.
Yeah, that was interesting, right? He's just kind of testing the fields like, hey, are you going to make a mistake? Are you going to use your ultimate? So, I don't dislike it that much from Dokla simply because it is, it does ask the question, right? Yeah, I think it was Brian Kibler, a Magic and Hearthstone player, who said there are no wrong threats, only wrong answers, right? And so as long as you continuously present threats, eventually something is going to work out. And Zeyzal, don't steal it, please. Okay, good. Wait.
Ooh,
okay.
All right. 42 HP. I saw that. 42 was the number right at the end. I think we were all afraid of that red buff going over to Zeyzal instead of Hayami. But little counter jungling that did occur on the ANEW Rising squad. But outside the bot lane shenanigans, they haven't looked for any other crazy kills.
No, not yet, but they do have a level 8 Robbie Bob looking to come down to the bottom side potentially. And they have, this squad has insanely scary dives in the side lanes, right? You have Hyami with the ultimate, you have Robbie Bob with the ultimate, and both of them can effectively ignore the turret for a little while, and it just makes it very difficult for people to play safe. But Robbie Bob does need to be careful because now Tuesday doing a heck of a lot of damage as this birdie.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he has a Chrono Break for himself here. I don't see a cooldown timer for him. I don't know what's going on, but in the top side, Dokla's going to get knocked up from the Lumberjack. He's around the corner. Perfect Execution's about to come online, but the double flash forward to see if we can take down Dokla. One more attack should do it from Hayami, and from downtown, once again, Hayami gets a kill for himself.
Hey, I think we've seen this one before too. Well, so much is happening the same way it's happened previously, and good damage going down onto Robbie Bob, but I'm again surprised they're not committing the Rift Herald. Okay, there it is. They are committing the Rift Herald to take it down. Just waiting a little bit longer than we had expected. But it is worrying to see that a lot of the ways in which the new team were able to build advantages are once again building advantage for this team that we are saying should not be as good, but are playing way above what we were previously expecting, and it's making the Not Academy team ask a lot of questions about how this team is going to be doing.
Yeah, them being down 3 kills is definitely can definitely hurt the mental, especially when it comes to these kind of games, man. I know that this kill score doesn't really show a lot when it comes to the advantage of ANEW Rising, but getting a kill makes you feel good. Also makes you feel bad if you die, and that's where a lot of players have to kind of temper themselves when it comes to dying in an awkward position or overextending just a little bit, because it feels very devastating. But in actuality, it also might not mean anything. But so far on screen, Winston did start the Elder Drake for himself.
Hey, can we take a look at Echo real quick?
Sure, yeah.
I just on screen.
Yeah,
okay.
thanks, producer.
You're right. He just He hasn't put a point in his ultimate.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
Either that
Cool.
or we're getting some like massive
Nah.
visual bug.
Whoa. Before he gets to that, though, John's going to get hit up with an ace grab. Doesn't manage to land, but is really low. Short Hop used the heal to make sure he is safe. Rybub still hasn't opted to... Yeah, I guess it is. He just didn't opt into Evolve for it, but Rybub's fallen pretty damn low. Now he puts a point into it, but Tuesday is down mana. I think Rybub could look to fight this if he wanted to, but that's where the ultimate is. Thank you. Winston's here.
Yeah. Okay. I was so confused because like, there's no way he hasn't put a point in his ultimate by level 9. But finally, the turret is going to be going down, and Tuesday pushes him around. And wow, that was very interesting overall that they were finally able to do that. ANEW still very strong on this patch without a whole lot of changes. And Chim and Dokla, I've seen this movie before. Oh no, they caught the perfect execution.
Yank Dokla to Hayami Boogaloo is the sequel. Fortunately, we're not going to get to the climax of it yet, as Dokla managed to survive here. Hurt is going to be the main target for squad.
They can dive.
Oh, okay.
If they really want to, right? Like, he doesn't have Shroud, they're bringing over Robbie Bob, but they take a couple of turret shots and it makes it that much more difficult, and they've given over so much time that now Winston can show up and make it very dangerous for them to potentially continue looking for this aggressive play. And overall, I mean, the game is technically a gold lead for the Not Academy team, simply due to the fact that they are out farming in every single position.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that they are down in kills, they also have the inner turret, which is going to free up Tuesday to move around a little bit. But I mean, it's an ANEW. You're not super focused on moving your ANEW around the map. They don't have the same kind of insane dive pressure as Gecko does.
Yeah, that's very true. I think this goes back to the give and take, as what you mentioned in game 1, where we see ANEW Rising looking to take a lot of pressure and take a lot of kills just by moving around the map and see if they can create some pressure. Whereas Not Academy, because they're not giving anything, they're able to just sit there and farm safely for themselves, which is pretty good on their end. The CS lead is definitely going in favor for the Academy squad just across the board.
For sure. I mean, we should be expecting that, right? If we accept the premise that these are, you know, LCS caliber players, they should be winning with the matchups they have secured for themselves. And now we are starting to see Tuesday move around a little bit to harass Hyami, and Winston, who has again been rather quiet this game, is also on this side of the map. So we might see a bit of a larger skirmish for the first time this game.
And they really want to fight over this blue buff. Bob is going to get a gigantic chunk from that frostbite. Hyami's still perfectly alive. I like this little move that they're doing to make sure they're denying this blue buff from Robbie Bob. Since Robbie Bob does get that blue buff, he's not able to maintain the wave.
No
Winston's
flash.
hop over into a rock and hard place. Now Hyami jumps over the wall into 3. Might be a mistake. Teleport's coming in. You see Galio with the Hero's Entrance to stall everyone else out, but the bullet time managed to take through. We have a double TP on the backside from ANEW Rising as they're trying to take down everyone else out. Tuesday's the main target, but look at the snowstorm from Tuesday. He's slaying down everyone. Zazos being a big old bodyguard for the birdie in the mid lane. And right now, we take a look at Not Academy team. They fought in the green and they got it.
Wow, Hyami trying to go over once again, and it's proving to be his downfall throughout this series as he jumps into so many members, has to instantly use his ultimate to keep himself alive, and thereby saves Winston once again. Watch how low Winston goes to his whole thing, instantly gets rooted, and Winston sitting there just over 100 HP as everybody is looking to teleport into the fight. So low. Hyami has to keep himself alive, and while he does provide a good opportunity for Galio to get on in, just delivers it right into the middle of an Apollo Price bullet time across the entire team.
Yeah, and just look at Tuesday in the top left corner too. He got jumped on, but it doesn't matter because Zazel's just a gigantic tree that's standing in the middle of the way from the Lumberjack and from the time Assassin in the mid lane too, man. It's a tough call trying to tackle the bird, and that's where I think ANEW Rising may have just dug a hole in themselves. Hopefully they can come back, but right now we do see the Riptide going in favor for them, so they are winning a little bit on some of this neutral objectives side so far. In fact, I think they might be looking to see if they can start another fight for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I guess these teams are both pretty similar in terms of itemization, right? Almost everybody has a completed mythic except for the supports, but we're also looking at another dragon here, and it's again going to be a cloud dragon, which I think normally isn't the most impactful thing, but in this game, with how important ANEW's ultimates really are for their ability to fight, they really want to pick up some of these, and as Zazel is going to be committing his ultimate in the mid lane just to try and save some HP on this turret, it's not going to be up for the impending dragon fight. They just fight.
Yeah, they're going to jump on Dokla. Dokla has to flash over the wall to make sure he utilize the perfect execution to get the heck out of dodge. So he's going to be down for this dragon fight. That will be very good for them. So ANEW Rising should have an opportunity to look to fight a 5 versus 4 before Dokla gets here.
Yeah. I've not been particularly impressed with some of the aggressive plays Dokla has been playing for, but it just means that he needs to be a little bit more patient with some of the things that he's going for, and they are going to somehow reward themselves with this dragon because ANEW just didn't want it, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's because they are down Lamb's Despite and the hero's entrance from their squad. So it means Soul Point's going to go over them. It also means that Zazel's going to look to see if he can start up a fight. Dokla doesn't have the ultimate, but you already see Chim utilizing the ultimate to make sure he gets the heck out. But with everyone flashing forward, Chim is very low in health. Winston goes in with the Gale Force. Tanky Lumberjack isn't going to fall down as of yet, but right now, Not Academy team are definitely looking to push the pedal.
That's some of my favorite outplay in League of Legends is just standing between the intended target and the grave so that you take the auto attacks instead of somebody else. John just did a fantastic job at making sure that Chim didn't take any of those auto attacks and couldn't die to that fight whatsoever. So yeah, this has been a pretty interesting game, and of course, as we see 4 Gale Forces currently in people's inventories right now, that apparently marks our 10th one of the series. So this item really taking over the meta.
Where's the Kraken Slayers? Where's the Immortal Shield Bows, guys? I think items need some love too. That we want to see. I think Riot himself want to see some item variety. We're not really seeing it right now, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Show some
what
love
is with
to
this Gale Force privilege?
Yeah. Come on, guys. The other items need some love too. We have to make sure all the items get the same equity. Let's go.
Yeah. Can we get some affirmative action here in League of Legends?
I'm getting political. All right. Don't want to rile the politics too much. Yeah, man. Have to see what they want to do.
Yeah.
I'm saying hi to the bird.
I mean, Birdie.
Hi, Birdie.
Birdie.
Birdie. Birds.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, this game's... I don't think there's a whole lot that's going to happen unless we see a repeat of this movie. I've seen this before.
We're jumping on the bird now. This is going to be a big bird that's going to be falling down as we go into the egg form. Going to be taken down. Who's going to crack it and scramble it up? Hayami's going to scramble the egg, as we both had scrambled toast, egg scrambled toast in the morning, man. That was pretty good. Hayami's going to be pretty happy for himself.
But, you know, 10 Gale Forces, that's the 4th time we've seen that exact play in this series, where either Dokla or Tuesday get caught out from a gank from Hyami because they have no vision support around them whatsoever, and they just walk too far forward, end up dying, and now as Apollo and Zazel walk over, Zazel's been going for a lot of these like long-range ultimates, and I guess if you're just trying to zone people, it's great, but it's not gonna hit.
I think it's also because the little bit of the animation of the projectile did get caught in vision, so maybe that's what called the retreat. I think it's really good if you're in complete fog from Zazel, as he's rocking the.
I mean, one of my good friends just does things like that all the time, and just like maybe they forget.
Yeah. Let's go for a half court shot, just for the sake of it. Yeah.
You know, if it works, it'll be sick.
That's true. You know what? You missed 100% of the shots that you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott. So.
Thank you, Michael Scott. Oh wait,
thank you, Michael
are we going to
Scott.
see the exact same play again? All right, no. Tuesday's walking away.
This is the 5th movie of the Hayami cinematic universe. So far, so I just want to put that out there. The Avenger the Hayami Avengers haven't assembled as of yet. They're about to. Once they do, I think they can deal a big blow against the Not Academy team and the rest of the squad, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And they're going to have to, right? We have the Cloud Dragon Soul coming up here in just a moment, and we're going to coalesce a lot of people around those, and notably, big items are starting to come through for a number of people. The Collector is done on Apollo's Misfortune.
Oh, okay.
And that's going to mean that he's going to be doing quite a bit more damage once this Dragon Fight actually comes around. And hopefully we'll see a couple other items start to come through as we're starting to look at the last opportunity for people to back away. What does Short Hop pick up? I think, yeah, he picks up his Collector as well. So both these AD carries on a very strong power spike right now as we start looking at this fight. Whereas most of the other members, particularly of ANEW, are sitting on only their first Mythic and some components.
Yeah, but this is where I'm a little bit worried because of the way the team comes going in. Hold on to that phone because Chim's going to get jumped on by everyone else.
Nice.
Once it takes him out, I'm just going to get jumped on too by Zazel. Forced to use the Lambs for spite, but there's a lot of people that can close him down. Hayami barely makes it alive, but the collateral damage from Winston from downtown is going to nail that three-pointer, and that means that they're able to push for this Soul point. What came to be a close series in this game, Josh, has now mean that Not Academy team has already pushed for Soul Point.
Yeah, oh, Tuesday. Hot.
Oh, Tuesday actually falls down from short up. Dokla is around the corner. Flash away, but the Kunai is going to take him down. But that's where I'm kind of worried. Jonathan's going to get executed down too. Rybob is around the corner, but it's only by himself. He has to get the heck out of here if he can. Making a run for it with the Time Winder, as I should be able to make it a safety.
Yeah, I really like this coming out from Not Academy team overall, right? Like, you see this, they pick off Jin before the fight actually starts, before their opposing team has an opportunity to set up. A good snipe coming out here at the very end from Winston with the collateral damage to pick up the kill. But importantly, they pick up the Cloud Dragon Soul, which is going to give them a lot of movement speed to play with, and that's actually super, super helpful in navigating the large amount of crowd control and relatively immobile characters on the other side. Suddenly the lack of mobility is going to be exacerbated as we see Dokla just going in, having that little bit of extra movement speed allows him to stick to these players a lot more effectively than he would have previously.
Everything of the early game from ANEW Rising is now kind of costing him at the back end because of the CS discrepancy that's coming through and some of the small little item disparities that has been accrued for Not Academy. As we already see, Short Up already getting jumped on. And look at that collateral damage, man, from downtown with the Collector. Takes him out. Hami's going to be the one who's going to be the main target. But look at Dokla. He's looking to go in. He goes for the perfect execution, misses, but Hami does not have the Lambs respite. He falls down. John falls down too. Not Academy are running away with it.
They really are, and now they're going to move over to the Baron, and they're a little bit low, so Robbie Blob can look to try and make a hero play, but Chim doesn't look like he's particularly interested because they don't have the vision of it. They might not believe that their opponents can actually do it, and without both members here, it's going to be a very difficult task to try and do anything. Not Academy suddenly running away, just as you said. They pick up the Soul, they pick up the turrets, they pick up the kills, and now they're going to be picking up the Baron.
Yeah, Gale Force ain't going to counter point-click CC. Can't stop that script from being written as we see this double kill come through. I mean, Hayami, so far in the base, gets killed from Dokla. John falls down too. If you can dive two turrets like that, there's something going on. So hopefully ANEW Rising can just rally themselves going into the rest of this match.
Yeah, it's hard though, right? Like, you're at a spot where none of your members are really strong enough to stand up to these threats. You aren't going to win these individual duels, and so you have to kind of fall back into this front-to-back team fight, but your team isn't particularly good at that either, unfortunately. Like, you are also mostly a threat overload team, but the Scion just doesn't provide space, right? There's too much mobility on the other team. There's not enough that it does in order to create space for the rest of your threats, so it's going to really struggle at this point in the game, and maybe eventually Scion gets so tanky that it can start winning some of these duels against these other players, but that is a long ways away.
Not only that too, but whenever you're fighting, you have to be mindful of just the area of effect of what the red team do. Hayami barely falls down, had the Lamb's Spite, but doesn't use it. It's one member out of the defense though, because this top inner turret is already looking to fall down for Not Academy as they're looking to pressure this base.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely a maybe they forget moment. Yami just walked into the cats.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's sometimes that's all you need. So now they are going to be able to take down the top lane inner and the top lane inhibitor turrets.
Oh wait, I just saw Dope kill Short Hop, and now I see Winston go down from Hayami too. This is a 4-on-3 on the top side with Dope sitting in the mid lane. Disengage gets called through from Not Academy, but Short Hop got assassinated on the back end. I don't know what happened at that point. Top inhibitor turret's gonna fall down too, as we see Not Academy looking to pressure through on this inhib. The defense has not been called as of yet. Rybob seeing if he can turn everything around. But look at that Glacial Storm. Already pushing Jaime down. Dokle's already on the backside now. Lamb Strike gets used. Teleport gets called in. John's holding 4 members. Take a look at what's going on. Chim seeing if he can rally everyone else. Apollo on a rampage. But the retreat getting called from ANEW Rising has to be called right now. More teleports are coming in, Josh. This fight is going on for so long. Tuesday is looking to pin down Robbie Bob by himself. No one there to back himself up. With everything else here, Robbie Bob has to run away from the rest of the squad, flashing away too, and the base off of the entire skirmish from top and mid are in shambles.
Yeah, that is an absolutely huge push, and it was all over the place. It was super skirmishes. Hyami, you can't walk through there without the vision, buddy. There's a duplicate sitting right there on the other side, and now this Baron buff is absolutely massive. They're able to pick up 2 inhibitors, and now they're going to be able to pick up another turret, get a big reset in, because they have an Elder Dragon to fight for in just a minute.
And this is
All right, now we can see how Short Hop died.
Yeah.
Oh, he just
He's
died.
by himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chim and Hami see the murder, and he gets away with it. This is the second part of the fight.
Yeah, over here, it's like, it's so back and forth. You can see, like, what is Chim contributing to this fight, right? He's just a big health bar. He doesn't get a whole lot of crowd control down. He's not able to get a lot of things started. Now Dokla teleporting behind them, looking to try and end the game.
Yeah. We do see John playing the body. We see Chim holding 4, but Chim's going to be the sacrificial bishop on the rest of the squad. Winston's out here to take down Robbie Bob. It activates the chrono break, but he's still between a rock and a hard place. He falls down too. Hayami already going to be pinned down. Double kill for Apollo, flashing forward on Short Hop. It's Not Academy team are running away with slaughter. 4 members dead. It means that they're able to push in and end this game.
Yeah, it didn't look super clean for most of it, but eventually they're just like, hey guys, we are potentially the best team in Amateur. Let's go ahead and prove that real quick. They start winning every single fight. They just skill check their opponents every single time, and by getting to places first and doing what you need to do once you get there, they're able to take down this series 2-1 in what was a much closer series than I think any of us were expecting.
That's true. Yeah, we see John's not rocking the birdie costume, but it's not going to matter. Game 3 goes towards Not Academy team.